Hello, everybody. My name is Trevor. This is the first episode of the Participation Trophy, which is a new awards adjacent podcast. We have the combined force of Oscar Buzz, Oscar Film Forecast, and a Sam. And we have myself. We have Sam Elter over that way.
Yeah.
He's
We
frozen.
have who is frozen because his internet is ass. We have Thomas Gladstone, my co-host from Oscar Buzz. We have Jack Murphy, who delayed us by about 18 minutes after he said he'd be here in 34 seconds.
That's my. Don't play me.
Yeah, sure. And then we have Antony Post, his co-host from Oscar Film Forecast. So this is a new thing. You, I assume, if you're watching this, know us from our awards places. If not, I'm sorry and welcome. Because we're just gonna yap basically. We'll talk about awards. We'll talk about everything. We're just gonna kind of talk about things and what we'll see where it goes. I don't know what's gonna happen. But we'll see where it goes. So how are people doing today? Jack, what took you so fucking long?
My computer decided to update itself when I opened it.
For 30 minutes?
Well, yeah, that was part of it. Yeah.
Your computer does that a
Wasn't
lot.
all of it.
I mean, how often does your computer update on itself?
The last time it did it was probably like
A couple hours ago.
a few months ago. Yeah, a couple hours ago.
The last time you had to record something?
Yeah.
It was back when Emilia Perez was a contender, so maybe a month.
Yeah, a decade ago.
I was watching. Sorry, Sundance. I was screen sharing and watching a movie with somebody. But I was watching Black News with Jack, and he
You fell asleep though.
texted me. I did, but then I was still awake. That was my 7th movie of the day. It was my 7th movie of the day, and then I was still able to finish it later. I did 20 movies in 4 days, which was a light Sundance for me. I've done 30 something in 5 before. But
I was twinless.
yeah, so I didn't see it because some dumbasses leaked it on the internet. Anyways, Jack texts me like, yeah, I'll be back in like 10-15 minutes. So then we can start. I'm like, okay, cool. I just started Black News. I'm like, oh wait, this is part of why I fell asleep. Because I was delayed an hour and 15 minutes by Jack after he said I'll be back in 10-15 minutes and ready to go.
I said you could start without me.
I know, I was trying to be nice.
He would have finished a film without you. it's a
Well,
problem.
he fell asleep, so
Yeah.
Because I was delayed an hour.
If there was anybody who could watch movies while being asleep, though, I would put my money on Trevor. He would just like astral project into watching all the movies at once.
What am I at so far? Wait, I want to look at my number so far for this.
I've
year.
never seen more than 3 movies in one day, ever.
Really?
I did 5. That's the most.
I did 9 at Sundance 2 years ago.
I don't what
I feel
I
don't
think
get
I've
that,
done
yeah.
4, but really not enjoyed the 4th one. I don't think. 3 is
Yeah.
maybe that was a film's called. I don't remember what film it was, but I just remember. I think 3 is the maximum that my attention.
And that's too much. 3 is too much.
Yeah, you can watch a trilogy in a day, but any more than that is.
I've done 8 because I've done all the Potters in one day. So that's
Oh, okay.
that's
Yeah.
my math.
Okay.
That is pretty
My
insane.
God.
You didn't think to stretch it to 11, get the Fantastic Beasts in
They
there.
got all 3 Fantastic Beasts.
1 was enough for those movies.
Yeah, no, I mean that would have been a nice way to usher in the day and just fall asleep too. I reckon it would have been
Put me right to sleep.
exactly. Yeah.
I'll wake up for
Yeah.
the Johnny Depp bong scene.
Oh, lovely. Oh, you include those?
What?
You include those movies too?
No, I'm
No.
Oh, okay.
So Jack, you see, that was the bit, was that he didn't include them.
Yeah. well, sarcasm.
Gotcha. What do we think? This is embarrassing. What do we think my count is for this year so far?
I think I know. Just 'cause
Wait,
I
can
want-
we share all of ours?
Sure,
Just-
yeah.
Yeah,
I bet mine's
No.
the lowest.
I think mine.
Mine is probably the low.
No, mine would
Jack's
definitely be the lowest.
Oh, actually, mine's not
Wait,
bad.
am I gonna have more than all of you combined? Is the
Yeah.
question, I think.
No, you won't. We're close. If pre-Sunday we're the same, but then you went on and did your
Gotcha.
7-day thing.
I did,
Trevor, is
yeah,
yours like 60?
It's
higher
I
than
think
60.
You're in the, are you in the? You're not in the 80s, are you?
No, God, no. I'm not that
You're
crazy.
like 73, I think.
No, you're overestimating. You overestimate.
I'm
I'm at
63.
67. I'm at 67 with. I just watched Janet Planet today.
Okay.
Which puts me at
I'm at-
67.
What am I at? 65, I think.
I don't
64?
Okay, yeah. Wait, so we're similar then.
Wait, hang on. Sam Jack, are we on a more normal?
Mine is bad, but I
Normal
don't.
is a point of view, Thomas.
What is yours,
Yes.
Jack? What is yours, Jack?
It's higher than this because I don't log everything, but it says 7 right now. So
Okay. I'm at 13.
Okay,
Okay.
I'm at 22.
Okay.
So
okay,
I feel like I have the most normal count.
Yes.
probably. Well, yeah.
Well,
Well, it's
for
very-
having a
Still
letterbox account,
approaching-
yeah.
That's 2 films every 3 days, roughly. That's probably more.
I mean, I remember a tweet once where somebody's like, "Have you ever seen a movie twice in one day in theaters?" I was like, "Yes." I was like, "How is this on film Twitter? How is this an accomplishment?" I've seen movies like the same movie twice in one day in theaters. That's the challenge.
Yeah. I did Barbie twice in a day in theaters. The opening day.
Yeah.
And then I think is that the only time I've done one movie twice in one day? I think so.
I've done
I
it-
watched After Sun 3 times in one day one time. That was a rough night
Why?
because I
Very
was
sad
depressed.
that day.
I was depressed, guys. I don't think I was on my medication.
What's your medication that day?
Yeah, After Sun was my medication. Sometimes
I don't know if I've ever watched an entire movie multiple times in the same day, but I've definitely went back and rewatched the same scene
Yeah.
like 20
Yeah.
times in a row.
Sure. Yeah. So you were saying the other day that like whenever you're in a bad mood, you'll just scroll to a random point in The Substance
Yes, and then I'll
and then
finish
just watch it.
and then I'll finish it from that point on. And I kind of get disappointed if I scroll to like the last 20 minutes because I want to watch more.
So then just don't.
It's
So
become
then
my
just watch
comfort.
more.
Just
Yeah,
watch
but-
it in 5-minute reverse segments. Start at the last 5 minutes.
Yeah,
and go
dude,
back,
the
and go back,
Christopher
and go back.
Nolanification
Yeah.
of The Substance. Just
Yeah.
make
Yeah.
it Tenet.
I think I've seen the sequence of Margaret Qualley's first like experience in the real world as Sue, where she goes to the studio, puts on the audition. I think I've seen that 10-minute segment maybe like 30 or 40 times.
It's like you're seeing in The Fablemans where it's like you just have to get control over it and you just watch it over and over and over again.
I'm obsessed. If I could have any scene like framed on the wall, it would be that. It's just incredible. Like we haven't gotten framing of an actress like that since like the 90s. Best anyone has looked on screen since the 90s. Or like Catherine Zeta in Chicago. It's on that level where she just looks so good in every frame. It does, and obviously maybe this is horrible because her butt and boobs are fake, but like it adds so much to the character. And that metallic pink one piece she wears, incredible, obsessed. I love it.
Zeta Jones is a good comp. I was watching that this morning. We don't have those sort of performances anymore. I feel because everything has to be serious and she's just having fun.
No, the 2010s totally killed off like the pornographic, exciting way that actresses are shot for some good reasons. But this movie actually did it.
Yeah.
So we got it. We got it here
Yes,
with the
yes, yes.
substance.
Hey, you got Baby Girl. You know, we're making a comeback.
Yep.
Yeah.
I don't. Tom hasn't seen it. Antony, are you a Baby Girl fan too?
Okay, so without spoilers, like the last scene with Harris and Antonio Banderas did a lot to kind of bring me back into it, but it definitely let
Yeah.
a little too much steam out of the movie midway through.
I agree. It just that entire second act just fell completely flat for me. I think that the opening act sets up some like really exciting ideas, but I don't know. I just, especially for how like it is not that long of a movie, but it just drags through the middle for me.
Well, because
I
think,
disagree.
I disagree too.
Disagree.
I mean, it's a lot of movies. I feel like this year, like we're deciding should we be camp or should we not be camp, and I think that's one where it's like you got to pick. You do one or the other. Like you,
I
It's
agree.
not. It's not, and it chooses not to be at no point in the film. I don't
know.
Do you actually try to defend your precious baby girl? And
I don't think anything I say is going to you guys' minds. So
Yeah, me too.
How does that ever stop us?
for me.
All right, we should talk about a thing. Has anybody watched anything interesting lately? Because I've just been like degenerate watching Sundance movies.
I've avoided anything new movie, any Oscar movie besides, my rewatches of The Substance. I've been in a weird, I was telling this to Jack and Trevor, I've been in a weird mood to rewatch 2010s movies, like early 2010s Oscar movies for some reason. I'm just having nostalgia for it. So I rewatched The Help and loved it.
Really?
And I loved it. I thought it was so good. And I rewatched
Do you
Silver
need
Linings.
help? I don't.
What?
I said, do you need help?
Okay, I think you have to look at it more broadly. I think you have to watch the movie with looking at it as like a Disney soap opera from 2011.
Right.
God,
Yes.
It definitely could not have been made today.
All of us nodding and smiling.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mhm.
Just
Okay,
like,
well-
blink, Sam. Blink if you need. Blink if you're okay.
Come with the Nate today. Emilia Perez is by far more problematic than The Help. Like,
Yes.
Okay, fine.
Hollywood
But
will never learn. They will constantly, look for virtue signaling and stuff like that.
whatever.
This is true.
I'll be on my little island over here praising.
Also,
the movie.
Thomas, I need you to shut the fuck up with the liking The Blind Side and Green
Oh,
Book.
I like The Blind Side.
The Blind Side's good, though. The Blind Side
Green
is
Book.
actually
Green Book is a perfectly fine, crowd pleasing, sweet drama.
good middling film. Exactly.
It is totally fine.
Yeah.
What, Thomas?
And The
I
Blind
was
Side is
looking.
genuinely good.
I was looking back through your letterbox, and I think your most recent review of The Blind Side, you gave it 4 stars, and you said like would be 5 stars if not for the racism or something like that. Like,
Yeah, it's one of those guilty pleasures where you actively do feel guilty watching it. There are issues with the film, no doubt. But when he's saying charge of the Light Brigade, and when there's the actual scene where they're sitting around the dinner table and they're saying grace, and then they hold, the little girl puts out her hands to Michael, and they hold on it. They're like, oh my God, will the little girl and the black man hold hands? And it is really dodgy, but so camp in the way it's done, and so sort of bizarre. Like,
I agree.
Exactly. It's like, you can't do that. Why are you doing a long take there? What are you suggesting about this act?
I agree.
It's a fascinating case study and a good sports film.
Yes, and I like that the movie is so emblematic of like the 2009 Obama is president, racism over America sentiment. It is so reflective of that.
Yeah. So,
and the fact that she won an Oscar for it too is crazy because she puts on a terrible Southern accent, like actually terrible, embarrassingly bad. And there's that scene where she's at the diner or whatever with her like Republican soccer mom friends, and the woman with this fucking 1960s haircut looks at her and goes, "You're changing that boy's life." And Sandra Bullock looks at her and goes, "No, he's changing mine." And it is just the worst, but the best.
Exactly.
I love that we're 13 minutes into having a podcast and we were doing the Blind Side revisionism.
I was about to give you 100 guesses. I would never have said that this is where we're going to go first with this conversation.
You asked what I've been watching lately, and now I'm going to rewatch The Blind Side.
I made that mistake.
You did. You put yourself in that trap.
Yeah, it might be a good double feature. Actually, tell you what, I'll rewatch The Help as well. Maybe The Blind Side and The Help is a double feature. Could change my opinion on The Help. So
there you go.
Do a Bryce Dallas Howard marathon. Do that. Rocket Man, Jurassic World 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, all in a day.
Bryce Dallas Howard deserved to get nominated for The Help. She's incredible.
Imagine if she did, and that 3 of the 5 were The Help supporting actors.
It would have been. They could have done Sissy Spacek. She would have deserved it. It could have been all 5 from The Help.
Yeah.
Oh Lord. I still think, though, speaking of that year, there's a part of me that I love Octavia Spencer, and she should have been up for like Loose, which nobody saw that movie. Melissa McCarthy, I feel like in my heart of hearts should have won that year for Bridesmaids. I just rewatched. She's so good in that movie.
She is.
I love that.
I love the McCarthy. I feel like is like really heavily underutilized because like I feel like she has chops. Like I feel like she has proven on multiple occasions that she can like work. I mean, obviously, was a comedic actor, but like she has dramatic stuff as well. And I just feel like nobody's giving her any like interesting material.
It's because she keeps working with her husband.
Sure. But like, I mean, can you ever forgive me? Like, she's genuinely very, very good at like, when is she gonna get more roles like that? Like now she's in fucking Unfrosted. Like,
Yeah.
I mean,
With Octavia.
yeah.
Oh God.
I guess it's a question of like, because I feel like there are certain, like I think Brie Larson is the same mentality. It's like, I'm not gonna be able to make these movies and make the money I'm making 20 years from now. So let me do these now and then later. Or she could just have the Wesley Snipes thing, be like, I like making the big budget, you know, not sophisticated movies. Like those are just fun. So I don't know. It's a question of like when the artist actually feels like they're an artist and when they're like, who's going to work and who's going to make art. You know, I feel like it's tough. Because I mean, a lot of her movies that we love, like she brings them into an artistic level, but like Bridesmaids isn't designed to be an art film. Like it's not designed to be revered in the way that it is. It was just really, really good. So I wonder too, it's like, this was just a fluke that I got in here.
But that's why I like Jennifer Lawrence, because Jennifer Lawrence she was so big in the early 2010s. She was in all of those David O. Russell movies and was nominated so much and won. And then she did X-Men and Hunger Games and became the big franchise girl and then kind of didn't do stuff. But now she's sort of reinventing herself as this producer, movie maker and actress. And she's doing far more interesting projects. And it's similar to what Emma Stone's doing, except she's always kind of been in the game. But I really like, and I'm very excited to see Jennifer Lawrence and what she does in the next few years, because she was really good in Causeway, and her next project looks really good. So I'm liking this new path.
Dime I Love. It's Lynn Ramsey with Robert Pattinson.
The Lynn Ramsey. Okay.
Yeah.
I forget she was also in Don't Look Up.
Yeah.
Right.
Which was a thing that happened.
She was.
I like that.
She's the best
Where
part.
do we all stand? Where do we all stand? Don't Look Up, because I enjoy that film.
I enjoyed watching.
Instance of McKay that I've not the one instance, pictures okay, but it's an instance of McKay actually working. Whereas because it's the whole point of the film is that it is bizarre and stupid, and therefore you need to be beaten over the head with the thing. With a film like Vice, and I've complained about Vice numerous times before, it just felt lecturing and pandering and annoying. Whereas Don't Look Up, it could get away with doing basically the same tone in the same way with the same sort of editing techniques with the same direction and actually work better. It's still not perfect because I don't think McKay's style will ever blow me over, but it is a solid time, I think.
I agree.
I've cooled on Vice. I think that Don't Look Up, I still like Vice. That's a guilty pleasure movie for me. But I think that Don't Look Up is the best of his kind of I'm a serious filmmaker now run. And I don't know if there is going to be a better one, because I feel like he's just going to keep on descending more and more into that. And I feel like Don't Look Up was kind of like the perfect level of like, this is absurd, this is beating you over the head, but it works. And I think if he leans like a centimeter more into that, then the dam kind of breaks.
Yeah.
And I think that we're going to see the same problem with Wes Anderson as well. I quite enjoyed Asteroid City as a film. I think that is the maximum Wes Anderson can go before he starts to. I felt a lot of 2010s Wes Anderson is that kind of pretentious art for art's sake. It's challenging, but not in a way that's actually meaningful. Asteroid City kind of struck the balance where it was actually looking back at his career, looking back at his work. I'm worried we're now going to just go exactly the other way, where it's like, oh my god, everything's metamodern, everything is meaningless, everything means something or other, and it's just all going to be lost any sincerity. So I think Wes Anderson's a similar position to Adam McKay and all of these directors who have this very clear style. Sure, I know, Trevor, you love auteur theory and you believe that we should have auteurs. Sometimes we need studio interference. It's one of my hot takes, but I don't mind a bit of studio interference here and there. I think it made a film like Queer better. Queer was this, there were reports that Queer was about 3 hours. Guadagnino had total control with it, whatever. And the way it was edited down, it made for an economic but very, very satisfying watching experience. I think that's
I disagree.
And I disagree because
I disagree.
I want the longer cut.
I want the longer cut.
I think Queer works in spite of the cut downs.
I agree. I think
think
the ending
that
felt a
film
little choppy.
Yes. I love that movie, but I do think that the ending feels rushed, and I think that we can lean more into that surrealist stuff, and that improves the film to spend more time in that space. And on the Wes Anderson note, like I think that his most recent films have been some of his most compelling in a while. Like I like Wes Anderson quite a bit, but I know I was really struck by French Dispatch and especially Asteroid City. I think Asteroid City is up there as one of his best.
That's what, yeah.
And I am fascinated to see where he goes from here. If he does lean further into, you know, playing with his own toys in the sandbox, or if he goes in a completely different direction, because we've seen that from filmmakers. Like Noah Baumbach basically made the same movie 6 times in a row until he got to Marriage Story, and it felt like with Marriage Story he kind of perfected that film, the divorce, like, you know, the quiet indie divorce drama, basically. I mean, he'd
Marriage Stories, but yeah, Marriage Story is.
Yeah, sure. I'm just saying it felt like he reached his peak with Marriage Story, and then what did he do immediately after that? He made fucking White Noise, right?
Yeah.
This complete pivot in so many different directions. So I'm curious if we'll see that from filmmakers, like if we'll see that from McKay. Probably not, because McKay's McKay, but like I wonder if Wes Anderson will see that from, if we'll see Wes Anderson try and do something different. And I wouldn't put it past him.
Yeah. Where do you guys stand on Ruben Ostlund? Because I feel like he's the European McKay.
Well,
at
did
this
you
point.
hear about his new film?
Yeah,
I
was wondering because I really love his movies, and I love the very on the nose, abrasive, odd European satire of it. I think they're brilliant. And I read that anecdote about his next movie where there's just a scene of like a kid on an iPad for minutes, and that sounds brilliant to me. And everyone hates on it. The critics don't like his movies. It's like another weird thing where it's like the industry likes it, but critics don't really like it. Audiences, they're indie
Triangle
movies.
Sadness did not have a good Metacritic.
It didn't have a good Metacritic. It didn't have a
least the
good
first,
Rotten
yeah.
Tomatoes. And I think the Letterboxd score might have been better, but not for the type of movie that it is on that artistic level.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering where you all stand on him, because he's also another one of those very divisive filmmakers. He takes big swings, and a lot of people don't mess with that.
I think Triangle of Sadness, for me, and we can go around, I think Triangle of Sadness is his best. I thought The Square was a bit obnoxious, but like it has its moments for me. And then Force Majeure, it's been a second, but I remember liking it, and thinking, like, I think that that's his least like overt, at least of those three. It feels like the most stripped down. But I think it works. But I don't know. I enjoyed Triangle of Sadness. I don't think it's without its flaws, but like I think I give it an 8 out of 10.
Yeah, I mean, I give like people like him, Wes Anderson, like I give them credit because it feels like they're working in a completely different space than other filmmakers, because they've put so many rules onto themselves on top of the rules that we give every filmmaker, and which I find more fascinating, because I feel like when you're working within a very specific vision, then the places that you differ from film to film can offer a lot more areas of conversation, because you're writing an essay that's like 50 years long instead of like these little independent things. It's why, like, as much as I love Spielberg, because he has such very clear eras and he almost is like invisible from film to film, you just have to know that light is scary. Like sometimes, like, other than if you didn't have the divorce thing running through it, like what does connect all of his movies together other than the spectacle? So that's why, like with Ostlund and with Anderson, like to compare their styles, the how far they go into the studio system, it's like what makes Shutter Island fascinating with Scorsese. Like I feel like their ideas, I think, are a little bit more focused in a way as far as how you can engage with their movies. So Triangle of Sadness worked for me because it was taking risks and it was doing things. And I'm always fascinated with like, what are the movies from like Europe and other parts of the globe that managed to appeal worldwide? Like why this film and not The Square or Force Majeure? Like, and what movies then do they decide, oh, this is good enough to like put on a world stage, or this is good enough that we're going to bury and make our own version. And then we get movies like Downhill with Julie Louis-Dreyfus that nobody sees anyway. It's like, well, what's the point? So I think in the end, like I appreciate that there are filmmakers like that who like put more burdens on themselves in order to make their art.
Yeah, for sure.
I
For sure.
love Sadness. So I liked the first and third act of it. I didn't really like the middle. I thought that was a little too much. But yeah, it was. I don't have a strong opinion on him.
Yeah.
So
I think he just goes a bit too far. Like I've only seen Force Majeure and I've not seen The Square. force majeure. I felt its films are not what you expect them to be, and I appreciate there is something about that is quite enjoyable. The slightly subversive aspect, the idea that you never really know where it's going or what it's doing at any point until the film actually ends, and you're like, oh, okay, you're forced to sit with it a little bit. So there is something quite satisfying and enjoyable about watching his films. But again, it's the kind of tone that's not really gonna bowl me or like really stick with me. I don't think. Triangle of Sadness I really enjoyed, had a great time with it. Was it a best picture worthy film with deep ideas about capitalism? Not really. I kind of treat it in the same way as a film like The Menu, which was another this sort of blockbustery type thing, made to really just be enjoyable, loaded with themes, but not meant to be analysed in the way some people tried to take from it.
See, I thought The Menu was too like slick and glossy, and it felt like a
I
weird
agree.
TV thing, and it was very regressive. Whereas like that second act of Triangle of Sadness, where you said it's too much, that was my favorite part of the movie. Like when everyone was shitting and vomiting and having diarrhea and going back and forth on the ship. Like I thought that was amazing, and I loved how he sort of displaced the camera and how it rocked with the ship, and how all the workers on the ship just like stayed in their parts. I thought it was genius, and the sort of timing of the humor, very European. Everything is weirdly sparse and spaced out. And you have that great scene where Woody Harrelson and Zlatko Burek are, after they drink way too much and they do that stupid card game, you hear them arguing as a Russian capitalist and an American communist. And it is, again, it's very on the nose, but it knows that and it likes that, and it doesn't really care what you as an audience member thinks. And as you said, Anthony, these directors put a lot of rules on themselves, but also they kind of make the movies for themselves.
Yeah.
So I mean, there's a bit of dissonance, but I love the style, and maybe I'm a little child, but gross out humor works for me. I still think potty humor is funny. So
I just can't handle vomit. Like vomit is like a top 3 fear in life for me. I'd rather be shot than vomit. So I can't.
Whoa!
No, I reckon we just blow past that thing. I don't think we need to unpack.
I don't want to blow past anything. You shot them vomit.
I in a non-fatal spot. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, so
Yeah.
Whenever I hear someone
non-fatal. I
find vomiting so funny. I remember when I was like 9 years old. I was like 9 years old at summer camp, and I watched this like boy lose a bet, and then he had to eat an entire bowl of hummus, and then he just vomited all over the table. I was hysterically laughing.
I had that with a friend who decided to take a whole thing of mac and cheese and eat the butter that was at the bottom and slurp it down, and then had like 20 chocolate milks, and then he threw up. It's like, well, what did you think was going to happen?
My God, Jesus.
It was at that moment I was like, oh, so we age differently. We mature at different ages.
Yeah.
So good. And the moment where the older woman, like the old Russian woman, she's like vomiting. The one who's on that poster, she's like vomiting, and then they're all trying to give her water, and then she says no, champagne, and then she chugs it and she vomits the champagne. Amazing.
Incredibly relatable experience. So we have the entertainment system is down, which is the new Ostlund. There was just information coming out about it. We got a cast of Keanu Reeves, Kirsten Dunst, Daniel Bruhl, Samantha Morton, Nicholas Braun, Tobias Menzies. Where the fuck is he from? I know that name.
Tobias.
He was in The Crown, wasn't he?
Yeah. Oh, You Hurt My Feelings. That one movie.
Oh yes,
That's
Game of
what I remember
Thrones.
his name from. Yeah, Julie Dreyfus.
Oh,
what
who
I
was he in
remember.
Game of Thrones?
He was one of the Tullys, Edmure Tully.
He's
brother.
Yeah.
Vincent Linden's also in this, by the way, from Teton. Very, very fun casting. So the premise: the passengers of a lengthy flight contend with their boredom as the plane's entertainment system is broken.
That sounds so good.
This to me, this sounds kind of what we're talking about, where it's just directors going even further into their thing. Like I don't know. I feel like with these auteurs, so many of them, especially contemporary auteurs, it feels like rather than carving out a style, they carve out like a thematic niche almost. And then they just keep on burrowing deeper into that thematic niche. And again, it's just when is it going to break?
Well,
When
did
is-
any of you
when is it gonna
see
be?
The Room Next Door?
I've not seen it yet. It is on my list.
None of us have seen it.
I've seen it.
Okay, so
Dance, yeah.
I'll briefly talk about it since none of us have seen it, and that's another one of my favorites, but very much an auteur, Pedro Almodovar. And this
Sure.
is his first English language movie, and I saw a lot of reviews where people were saying, "Oh, the dialogue in this movie is so forced, it's so unnatural. Why do they talk like that?" And I just remember watching the movie and going, "Did you watch any of his other movies? The dialogue in his movies has never sounded natural or like it's always very contrived and melodramatic. You all probably just thought people in Spain spoke like that and it was exotic." No.
Yeah, it's the old joke. I know it from Modern Family, but I'm sure it existed somewhere else. Where like they say something, it's like it sounds wonderful in Spanish. Then Sofia Vergara says it in Spanish. It's like, oh, that's lovely, and maybe that's what it is. I don't know, because I also think coming off of Parallel Mothers, which I think a lot of people regard as like one of his best. There's so much of that movie to me that is all in Penelope Cruz's like eyes and like how she acts against a computer better than most actors act. Period. And I feel like maybe coming off of that movie. And that being like a big introduction to him for a lot of people because it got this sort of late Oscar contention. Maybe that was too much of a jump for them. I don't know. It's. I had a little bit with the dialogue just because it felt weird that like I don't need you to tell me I'm happy. Like you're Julianne Moore. You're a great actress. I can get that you're happy or you're sad. You don't have to say emotions like we're in an acting class and you're playing like Heads Up and you have the emotion written and like I'm good. I can tell.
No, yeah. But yeah, no, it's an interesting conversation to have though about Auteurs. I was gonna bring up a movie that I watched actually pretty recently. Speaking of Zlatko Birok, that I guarantee nobody has seen. Or no, Thomas did see it. Rumors by Guy Madin.
Oh yes, that's it. Yes, actually, that's another film where I think a director's style is broken. That film feels just broken at its core. I know you had a bit. Do you
I liked
appreciate
it.
that? You liked it.
I enjoyed it.
But it is bizarre. It is a bizarre film to even talk about because I don't even know what the film was trying to do. I don't know what it was trying to say. I don't know what it was trying to be. I literally have I can't comprehend what Guy Madin was even trying to put into the world when he made this. So if you want to,
it's fun. Have you guys heard of this film?
Nope.
Yeah.
Okay, so Guy Madin, he's one of my favorite filmmakers. He's made one of my favorite films of all time, My Winnipeg, which is a 2007 docufiction film that is absolutely fantastic. Introduce yourself with that. Don't introduce yourself with rumors. But it's like this docufiction film about a man trying to escape the city of Winnipeg, and then he keeps on returning, and it blends this narrative of this man escaping with like telling the history of the city in this very experimental way. Very, very cool film. One of my favorites of all time. Rumors stars Cate Blanchett. Okay. And she's playing the Chancellor of Germany, and it's the world leaders meet at a G7 like committee for all the political leaders, and then they get lost in the woods. And there's these like little there's these fucking creatures that like explode when they masturbate. And then there's like this big ass brain that's pink and glowing and sitting in the middle of the woods, and they're losing the ability to communicate with each other. Charles
and they're all
Dance.
trying to write this policy paper.
Yeah, they're trying to write this policy as the
through
world is in this
getting
apocalyptic state and collapsing around them.
And they just need to write policy paper on green economic
and they're all
development.
shit at their
Something like
jobs.
that.
And my favorite thing about this movie is that Charles Dance, a very British man, plays the president of the United States and just does a British accent. There's no attempt made for an American accent. He is just British, and it is so funny.
Really was interesting about the film is because they have these 7 characters. I think he took the idea that every character needs to speak in every scene a bit literally, where literally you'll have 7 lines. One is from each person, and then you'll have another 7 lines with one from each person. It's just everyone has a line and then another line, and it's like, what the hell are we doing? We could cut some of these people.
No, everybody's contract had to have the same number of lines. They counted.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It's like the Fast and Furious fight contract, where like none of them can lose a fight. But no, it is just one of the most offbeat things I've seen. Period.
Is it new?
Yeah, it just came out this year. It premiered.
release.
It premiered at Cannes.
I almost saw it at TIFF, but I watched the trailer and said no, thank you.
The movie
Again,
is this the movie that Kate Blanchett was in a Q&A for, and the guy said that she was robbed for Tar? Is this what? Did anybody see that?
I think that was
I don't know.
disclaimer, maybe.
That disclaimer?
That she was.
I don't
I
find the
think so.
Quran who said that. Did I not look at it?
Well, he was right if he did say it.
Yeah. I mean,
I don't know who
it's
said it.
I mean, she has 2. That was Michelle's chance, you know. It's why I don't get too
Yeah.
worked up over this stuff. Though, you know,
Yeah.
as much as our comment sections this year want us to.
Did anyone watch Disclaimer?
I haven't, but I want
don't
to.
know what that. Wait,
I wouldn't
It's
watch
the
it.
Alfonso
Really?
Cuarón
I heard she was good in it.
series.
She's
with-
great in it. It's just you
Oh,
can
it's a
tell that
show.
it's
Okay.
yeah, but you can tell that it's a movie that he stretched out into a show.
Trevor's like,
It's
television? All I watch
Yeah.
is soccer, European football, and
Mhm.
movies. That's movies that nobody's seen.
I've been watching darts recently. I was telling Thomas I've been watching competitive darts. So I do that too, guys. See, I watch competitive chess. That's a fun one.
Thrilling.
That sounds
Yeah.
really boring.
It's
Yeah.
actually really fun if you like
No.
understand. Yeah, it's enjoyable, guys. Trust me. No, I plan on getting caught up on some TV stuff. I still need to watch The Bear season 3.
I honestly
Mm.
don't want to.
There's some good
I wanna
episodes in
watch
there.
Severance.
Yeah,
I want to
liked
watch
it.
Severance season 2.
I've been
Yes,
doing a
Severance is
rewatch.
great.
Yeah,
Actually.
I need to start Severance season 2. I've been doing a rewatch of The White Lotus, as I have many times.
I need to do that
because
'cause I
I'm
wanna watch
so
Lotus.
excited for season 3. I've been anticipating this for so long. I cannot wait to get back into like the Sunday rhythm of it, and like every episode getting crazier and crazier.
Who's dying?
It's the best.
I'm so
excited.
happy for Natasha Rothwell to be back.
Oh,
Like that-
me too. She was great. And look, spoilers. I'm gonna say a big spoiler, but you should know this by now. It's been a while. So I'm kind of happy that Jennifer Coolidge is not in this
Yes.
season, because it was getting annoying. The shtick
Yeah.
was getting annoying. She's very funny. She's a
Yeah.
great comedian, but the character was getting on my nerves because she's a very funny person. She has great timing, but I wouldn't call her a great actress. She doesn't really have much of range. in
She
her
plays
work.
herself. Yes.
We were watching
Even
Jennifer
President.
Coolidge. We were not watching a character in White Lotus, and that is
No.
serviceable for a little bit. But at the end of the day, you're not investing yourself in a character in this
Yeah.
relationship with this. You're just watching Jennifer Coolidge mooch about this.
Exactly.
screen.
And I'm
I mean,
excited for the next gay hotel manager, which is inevitable.
Yes. It's every. It's-
Yeah, I like she was a good presence, so I'm glad that she was there. But it started to become the Jennifer Coolidge show, so I'm glad if they're going to continue this beyond season 3. My MVP of season 2 was Megan Fahey, so I continue to wish her goodwill. It's very unfortunate that her next movie role is in that Zachary Levi movie, but I wish her the best.
God.
Yeah, I was.
What is that?
It's the Unbreakable Boy. It's I think. It's about a son with autism, and she's the mom. I think he's the
Oh
dad.
god! Oh god! That is
She's in that drop
God.
movie though.
Of course,
Guys, I
the movie with
guarantee-
Zachary Levi is called The
I
Unbreakable Boy. 'Cause he seems
Guarantee
to
this is gonna have a Dianne Warren song. I fucking guarantee it. There's going to be a Dianne Warren song, and it will be nominated, and we will all have to watch this movie.
I'm not watching the 6888. I don't care. I'm not
Okay,
going to watch it.
Question:
Was Sia involved?
See, no, but
No.
so
No.
I do think a lot of people in the comments on the YouTube videos were like, "Oh, music round 2." I was like, "Who remembers music enough to comment this so frequently?" Okay, wait. This year,
Oh my god.
drifting into Oscars, I honestly think this is the year. Give Dianne Warren Best Original Song, because if not, it's going to Emilia Perez, and I don't know if that's a better choice this year. I feel like this is the year she can
Give it to her.
I don't
Oh my-
understand why
Make
La
a
Vagina
Tyler Perry film an
Plastia.
Oscar winner.
Why couldn't they
Yes,
submit the
Sam.
Vagina song? It was the best song in the movie. It's the one everyone was talking about. No one cares about Mi Camino.
I
And-
still don't know where those songs are in the film. I don't know which one
It's her
which.
drunk
No,
karaoke
Honestly,
song.
seen the movie.
I
He just
like.
Are you kidding me though? I get that they canceled the live performances this year, which
Oh yeah.
good year to cancel them. I will say we don't need to hear those. But my God, do I wish that Vagina Plastia was nominated and they did a performance of that at the Oscars.
Do we think there's a
Yeah.
Wicked medley? Is that how they're going to open the show? They're just going to bring the two of them out and do that.
Probably.
I feel like that,
Yeah, you
that
can
makes
get the Bo's Afraid prosthetic on stage for the penis versus vagina song. That would have been quite, choice. That would have been a bold choice for them to
Men
do.
to woman.
It's catchy.
I mean, it's going to
amazing.
It's not going to go. I don't think it's going to go 0 for 13. I don't think that's happening.
Guys,
It's
at
just
our
one
awards,
song.
can we give
If we got
Vaginoplasty
awards,
the win?
Chocolate song.
I will be
It's
nominating it, yes.
Oh yeah.
We should call it the Jack Murphy original song.
I didn't
category.
even get Wonka last year, so it's not my category.
Oh,
Okay?
I'm putting it at number 1 on my personal
Okay.
thing. Just saying.
Vaginoplasty?
Oh yeah.
I'm so down.
Yeah.
Can we just rig it right now and just say that we're gonna go for Vaginoplasty?
It's
on our
the,
awards?
Well,
it
there's
is
some good Lion
the
King
original
songs.
song from a movie from 2024. Whether you like it or not, it is.
Oh fuck! Never mind. There's the songs from I Saw the TV Glow. I can't do that.
Yeah,
There's
those
that-
are good.
I would pick Adam's Apple Reduction. Yes, yes, yes over those.
Speaking of music, I felt the Grammys actually like got it right better than most award shows. Like I was watching, like, yep, that's who should win this, and that's who should win this. Yep,
The Grammys were good, and the performances were good.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh, yeah. And everyone got something. Charlie won something. Sabrina won something. Chapel got something.
Billy
and then
didn't.
they crowned
Billy didn't.
Beyonce.
Billy's fine. I think Billy does.
And,
Like,
like,
That's
Taylor
their best
have
record.
like
Get
100
anything.
Grammys already. so
Taylor's
they don't-
fine.
Yeah.
Like, she'll be
And then
okay.
they finally crowned Beyonce with her Julianne Moore and Still Alice moment. So that was nice.
That is
Mhm.
such
Yeah.
a reference specifically for the people in this chat.
Yes.
It wasn't. I tweeted after. It's like I'm fine with the win. She was my 4th favorite. Charlie was my favorite, followed by Chapel, Billy, then Beyonce. Those were the 4 acceptable winners. The other 4 I would have been less okay with. Andre 3000, similarly to Beyonce, would have been a fun like career win for his entire discography, especially like the Outkast stuff. But like this record was not his best.
It was getting ridiculous. The amount of times Beyonce has not won. Like if she
Exactly.
won, I was like,
The fact
I'm
that
happy
she
that she
didn't
has.
win for Lemonade or Renaissance is like she's
Right.
deserved this at least 3 or 4 times. At least I'd probably do 5 or 6. But
Yeah.
it was so nice because I remember I stayed up so late that year to watch the Grammys. In my mind I was like, Renaissance is gonna win album of the year. It has to. And I was so
Fucking Harry Styles.
excited. And then
Fucking
she
Harry
said it, and
Styles.
then the announcer said Harry Styles, and I just broke. I could not
Yeah.
believe that they did that.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But no, it was fun. Doechii winning, fantastic
good
fucking
speech.
win. Like she deserved that so fucking much. I mean, in Grammy rules are weird, but like she was my third or 4th favorite hip hop album of that year. But like my favorite of the eligible ones, I preferred Kendrick and Tyler, but they weren't eligible, and then the JPEG Mafia, but they were never going to nominate JPEG Mafia. So yeah, really really fun win.
And
I
her
hope that
performance
she.
was amazing.
It
Yeah.
was fantastic. I hope, like, unlike the other 2 female winners for rap album, she actually releases another album because it was Lauryn Hill and Cardi B, and they have still
Yeah.
only made the one album.
Cardi B's too
I
busy
have
with
more faith in her.
Cardi B's too
I have
busy
more
with
faith in
the whole in the Fast and Furious franchise. I mean,
Exactly. I mean, and Lauryn Hill, honestly, like, made like a top 5 album of all time with Miseducation, Lauryn Hill. So like, she's fine. She can just leave it at 1.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, Doechii win was fun. My boy Kendrick Lamar, sweeping song and record, was very very happy with that.
he's having a good week. He's having a good week.
I know. I see Kendrick and SZA in June. I'm so fucking excited.
That's great.
So fucking excited.
Okay. With all due respect to Shakira and Charlie XCX, performances after the 3-hour mark in an award show, no, I'm sorry. Like that was ridiculous. It was 11:30. I was like, another performance. We've given out like 5 awards. Like they're good.
The Charlie performance was fantastic. I loved the Charlie performance.
It was very
But-
her.
It was very her. It was so late though. She was on some drug. She was not.
She always
sober.
is.
She snorted a few lines before that performance, and it showed, and it was fantastic.
Just everyone
like,
throwing
it
their
was-
bras and underwear on the
I
stage.
know.
And
This is a very
Like-
weird reference. But if anybody's seen the new Sunset Boulevard production on Broadway, the guy at the beginning of the act 2 starts the song on the street, and they have a camera follow him up and down
I've heard about this, yeah.
and then he finishes the song on stage and he's singing the whole time. And so her starting in like the underground, it felt very Sunset Boulevard meets Shake It Up, and I was here for it. It was a good a good bullseye for that moment.
Yeah. References. Yeah. What a.
I love Shake It Up.
Is that the Zendaya one?
Yeah.
What?
Zendaya and Bella Thorne.
What did you not watch? Shake It Up. What was your?
I didn't watch Disney shows as a child.
Were you Nickelodeon?
Disney.
No, I didn't watch any.
See,
You
I
watched
also
competitive
didn't
chess.
watch them. I definitely I was a Cartoon Network.
Generally, when I was
Cartoon
8
Network
and 9 years old, I did watch chess games.
I was
Because
I would
it
watch
was
Tom and
part of the
Jerry.
school program. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I watched Tom and Jerry and Looney Tunes, of course, but Cartoon Network was where it was at for me. The Amazing World of Gumball, that was
I
like,
loved that show.
oh,
Yeah.
the best.
Yeah.
The best show ever. And Teen Titans Go, amazing.
I was on PBS.
We had CBBC, Children's BBC, which was producing proper quality shows. Sarah Jane Adventures Wallflower. If there's any British people of my age, they know what I'm talking about.
Thomas, did you grow up watching Nativity?
Yes. I wrote a college nativity actually last term for people that wanted to put it on. Some Christian girls came up to me and said, "Oh, we want to do a nativity. I've heard you like writing. Could you do it?" I was like, "It won't be a Christian nativity,
writing.
you know, be wearing it back." But I've watched nativity about 3 times. I felt like Paul Madden when I was putting together these stuff. So yes, nativity was my childhood. It's my childhood Christmas film. That and Muppets Christmas Carol. And I've got a theory on Christmas films. The ones once you're about 9 years old, the ones you've seen are your favorites, and that will never change. Like Christmas films are inherently nostalgic thing, unless there are new ones that come out like Carol. There was that other one, Klaus, came out that people.
I love
really
Klaus. Yeah.
loved. Exactly. But
Or you're Jewish like me and don't watch and we're not raised on any of that. And no and literally giving Sammy Fableman's house.
Talking about
The only house on
we
the
have fucking
street.
Carla Sophia Thomas over here. What the hell?
we watched Christmas.
He had some points.
Christians on Christina Jason, yes.
Jack, shut the fuck up.
Okay.
I'm quoting here. I'm not saying.
We need the thunder effect that sometimes happens when you do a thumbs down to happen to you right now. No, it's not going to happen.
It doesn't happen on command. No,
it does not.
it just
You
happens
guys know about this?
randomly.
Like
Yes,
The
sometimes-
random things that
Stop
come
with
up
the fireworks.
sometimes.
Yeah. It happened one time I was watching For Your Consideration. I'm not an avid watcher of that show, but sometimes it's nice to just check in and see what random shit Jeff Snyder is spewing.
Oh, I was like,
Yeah.
I was like, is this like a Christopher Guest comedy? What are you talking? And I was like, yeah.
Yeah. And it just sort of appeared there, and they had a good laugh about that.
Yes.
It was this wholesome moment.
I mean, that's.
Yeah.
I don't know if I would be here without that show. I mean, that was.
Well, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, that for a lot of us, I think, was the intro to like awards. That was the first like awards punditry show that I watched. Was FIC with Perry Nemroff, Scott Mance, and Jeff Snyder.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And they're still going today, and that's what I do love that aspect that they are still, even though their takes are.
Even though Perry clearly does not want to be there anymore.
No, Perry is like the only sane one. Scott Mance loving September 5. Ooh, September 5. Jeff Snyder going, nah, the substance won't get Best Picture. Still, even his last picture, like, substance.
I had a friend who literally DM'd me 5 minutes before the Oscar nominations a picture of a piece of paper that he wrote on with probably a Crayola marker. And it said, "The Substance is only getting nominated for makeup and director."
Bold.
Yeah, sure.
I mean, it did. It just got.
It did,
Yeah,
just
more.
only,
Only did a lot of lifting there.
Predicting it for director was not conventional wisdom.
Yeah, that's not a normal Demi Moore.
No movie has ever gotten that duo ever. So what?
No.
Like not Demi and makeup. Like
Yeah.
I don't. Whatever.
Well,
Well,
I mean, we weren't.
that just made me think. What did Elephant Man get?
Elephant Man got picture, director,
Oh, I forgot
actor.
Elephant Man got picture.
Oh yeah, that was a
I
juggernaut.
forgot
And
they got
that- the Elephant Man was actually the reason why the makeup and hairstyling category exists. They gave that movie
I knew that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
a special achievement award.
We should do. Speaking of I think it would be fun. I'm just trying to binge through every single thing David Lynch has ever made. So like going through all the shorts and everything because I'd seen all but 1 or 2 of the features.
Have
But
you
I'm doing
seen
a Twin Peaks.
Because I've got a friend who has
I'm
very similar taste in films, and it's like his favorite piece of art ever.
yeah, I'd seen the first season, but never anything more. So I'm rewatching through the first season right now, and I'm gonna watch the second season.
Yeah, I'd imagine
Because
it's
I've heard the return is like stunning. And I think from everything I've read, it'll be exactly my thing. Like Lynch is like a top 5 filmmaker of all time for me. Absolutely adore Lynch. So there's actually the local art house theater that's near my college campus. They're doing like a retrospective, so I'm gonna try and get to see like Mulholland Drive and like Blue Velvet in the theater, which I'm very very excited about. Because yeah,
and arguably the only 2 that I've really enjoyed from him also. But you know,
what do you guys have a favorite Lynch? Because for me, it's Mulholland Drive.
I haven't seen enough.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm the same. I feel like it's weird. I feel like he seems like the film school, like go to like, ooh, I'm a cool film student answer. But like, I went through film school. I don't think we were assigned a single Lynch film. There's some filmmakers I was like shocked never came up on the syllabus. Watch, somebody from my school will be like, you just missed it this week. I was like, probably. But yeah, it was weird. Like, meanwhile, like I remember one time, like they said, okay, this week we're gonna study American film. We're gonna watch Star Wars. Like, why are we paying thousands of dollars to watch a movie that everybody has seen? What is the point of this education? Oh,
yeah. Very excited to get a meaningless degree with film. Yay.
Yeah. Well, you watched King Richard as part of your. I quite liked King Richard. This is Trevor, but you know.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
That
was the thing that happened. It was for screenwriting.
Screenwriting?
For King Richard, yes.
I'm saying, like, I don't mind King Richard. It's a perfectly enjoyable film.
It was for like a
tennis
biopic
movie for that.
Well, exactly.
This wasn't even from my class. This was from my friend's class, and he was just like, "Do you want to watch my homework with me?" I was like, "Okay." So then I just rewatched King Richard on like a Thursday afternoon for absolutely no reason. That's fine. But yeah, I know I'm taking that screenwriting class this semester, so we'll see how it goes. Hopefully not a
We'll have to rewatch King Richard again.
I better fucking not.
New Ellis should have won. That's my hot take.
She should win this year. Is what she should win.
Well,
He should win this year.
Yeah, she's my
Might be
personal
a little
number.
hard.
Best
Yeah.
performance of the year. Yeah.
Write-in vote. Imagine if they were allowed write-in votes at the final voting stage.
They should be
It
allowed.
would be sick.
yeah, and then Margaret Qualley.
Hey, she was
also
dancing with Taylor last night. She was fine. She's doing good.
Oh,
Yeah.
I know. She was. They cut to her every 5 minutes. I was like in a dream. It was
Yeah.
amazing.
You sure you weren't just rewatching Substance clips again?
Did you see that apparently Cynthia couldn't find her seat and Taylor was just sit at our table, just sit. And she was like, okay. And that's how she ended up in that shot. It was there's something about, I feel like, I don't know. I feel like the NFL is getting better about it, but like, I feel like they always have a camera on Taylor, like constantly. It's how often they cut to it. I think they were better this year than they were last year.
They were. I'll be interested to see how it is at the Super Bowl again.
Yeah.
To see, because like last year at the Super Bowl, it was like the Chiefs won, and it was like 3 seconds later, and they immediately cut to her. Which I don't follow NFL that much. I follow passively because my dad's a massive Green Bay Packers fan, so like it's been indoctrinated into me a bit. But the Super Bowl was just fucking boring this year. Like it's just the Chiefs and Eagles again. Like literally the only thing to look forward to is Kendrick Lamar performing at halftime, because like it's just we just had this match 2 years ago. Like it's just there's going
to be a riot no matter who wins. Like especially with the ref situation, which I don't know why this year in particular everybody's upset with the refs, but I don't know. This is going to be.
I mean the Chiefs Bills. There was some really dodgy.
Yeah.
There was
really
dodgy
last time. The last time I think the Eagles, the Chiefs in the Super Bowl, it was like the ref made the call for the Super Bowl. So we'll see.
We'll see how it goes.
I love the Super Bowl because of
There's been a lot more football than anticipated. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm excited to eat wings though.
Yep. No, I saw some people saying that since Taylor's there, she should just go and perform Bad Blood with Kendrick. And it's like, guys, come on.
Let's have that happen. She can get on roller skates like Usher did last year. Just roller skate right down to the main field. Wait, are any of us little monsters? Do we care at all about Gaga releasing that new?
Okay, can I
would
share my
consider
honest
little.
opinion?
Did you not like it? Fake gay, fake gay,
Did you not
fake
like
gay,
the
fake gay.
video, or did you not like the song?
The song just felt like I've heard it before.
It's similar to other
I'm
stuff.
not even a massive Gaga fan, but it felt like a return to the 2010s form. I don't know. I enjoyed it.
Obviously,
it.
like she's the best, but I was.
It's the most excited
underwhelmed.
I've been about a Gaga project in a second.
Yeah, it's been a
Because
while.
I have not been enamored with
You weren't excited for Joker 2?
Yeah, really.
No.
Surprise,
I was gonna
surprise.
say, when it's like the House of Gucci.
Trevor still hasn't seen it.
No.
I still have
You
not
haven't
seen
seen-
Joker 2.
I've
No.
not seen
Oh.
Joker 2. I wouldn't, and I will never.
Why
I
the
have
fuck would I?
cause to see it.
It's better than the
I-
first
I-
one.
I feel like Trevor, like,
really-
he would be one of the people who'd
No.
be like, this is an FU to Hollywood,
I
and
think
then
so.
be like one of the few people that actually likes it. You know, the way that you.
I
like
could
You
unironically
probably,
see that happening.
yeah.
Do you think that I would deadass like it more? Should that be my homework?
You
before
would like it more than
episode?
the first one, for
You'd
sure.
like it more than the first one. I think you would look at it like Eternals. You'd be like, this is an FU to Hollywood. This is something.
Okay.
It is. Every
It
decision
totally is.
made feels tailored to piss off audiences. Like everything about it. Honestly, kind of similar to 13 Oscar nominee musical, Emilia Perez, where it just everything feels like a first draft. Everything is contrived. It's very long. Lady Gaga only has like one song.
Well, she has more
Yeah.
than one song.
No, but she doesn't have any songs alone.
No, she does.
And
She
she
has, like,
sings
I just
badly
rewatched
on
it.
purpose.
She has like 5 solos.
No.
Yeah, she has the song when she's outside the courthouse. I think that's entertainment.
Why am I not remember? Maybe it was really
Has
bad.
the song she wrote, which is Folie à Deux. She does the song when she's putting on the makeup. She has the song on the steps. She has a lot of songs by
I
herself.
think Antony's just outing himself as a major Joker 2 fan.
Yeah.
He's acting
Maybe.
very well. You're giving
No.
the arts. One step away from giving
At
the
42
the
minutes,
time-
37
the time
seconds, and
frame.
23 frames.
I just rewatched it like 3 days ago, and I've only seen it twice.
He watched it.
You rewatched Joker 2?
Yeah. Well, because you go on my letterbox. I think the last time we talked about Wicked, I'm not even admitting how many times I've seen it. I
Yeah.
watch movies over and over. So the fact that I only saw like that movie once, that shows restraint. That shows real restraint.
Okay.
Maybe that should be my homework for next week. Maybe I'll watch Joker 2 and we'll see if I actually do, because like Eternals, best MCU film. So
It's up there.
Okay.
Oh my god.
I love
seen it.
Eternals.
Oh, I have a
Thank
confession.
you, but it's not
I
up
have a
there.
confession. Ready? I've only seen 2 MCU movies for their entirety, and they're both of the Black Panther movies. I didn't watch Endgame. I didn't watch any of the Avengers movies. I didn't watch any of the Captain America movies or the Iron Man or Thor. None of them. I never saw any of them, and I don't ever think I will. I have no.
Sam, watch Eternals. Watch it.
I'm not going
Eternals is good.
to.
Eternals
No.
is good. Yes,
I'm not watching it.
it's fun.
There is
very
nothing you
vivid
could
film.
say that could convince me to watch a Marvel movie.
There's a few
The
things I
first
can
gay
say.
superhero causes Hiroshima. What more do you want from a movie?
Yeah.
The gays are responsible for Hiroshima.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, I didn't want
Reminds
to
me
say
of when that
that.
Vietnamese
Okay.
leader said that gays were spreading COVID, and then he died of COVID.
Hell yeah.
It started
Anyways.
with a blindside apology video and ends with the gays cause all of the World War II.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like we can wrap up. I feel like I in the tweet I put out I said 90-ish minutes, but 60 minutes feels okay.
Yeah.
And I know we have a few people that have to leave in a few minutes. So unless anybody has last remarks to get in, but before we wrap up here. Sounds fantastic. All right. Well,
It's a very broad question you asked, to be fair.
Yeah.
sorry.
Yeah.
So did you have
Any
more
final word?
things to say? Final words
Is
before
anything more on Nativity? Would you like to make it a pitch to the non-British watchers to watch Nativity?
Has no one else seen Nativity?
I've seen it.
No.
Okay.
I have
No.
not seen Nativity.
Well, I mean, what more can I say? Then you've got children putting on a high. Anthony, you probably actually would like it. It's about this group of children who just fall in, just make this very high budget nativity, and it's also a romance, and they go to Hollywood at one point, and it's all fine. I would wait until December. I'm not.
Yeah, we aren't doing this in February. Whether
Maybe I'll save this for a later episode in the year. This nativity pitch, because I feel it's going to go over your head now. So
Yeah. All
Okay.
right. All right.
I'll add it to the
Well,
watch.
my homework is Joker 2. Maybe this will be a thing. Maybe somebody will get homework every time.
Yeah.
But
I feel like you enjoy giving yourself homework.
Yeah.
Can Thomas and I give Jack the Indiana Jones films if he still hasn't seen them?
You haven't.
I've seen some of them. I've seen the most recent two.
4 of them.
He saw just 4 and 5. It's not
The
the
most
trilogy.
recent two.
Oh my god.
Yeah. And the Lego games.
Yes,
That's
which
how
in
I
fairness
experienced
are
the
very
first 3.
faithful adaptations.
I've been trying to make this
Very
man watch the
faithful.
Before trilogy for about 2.5 years.
Come on.
I've also experienced that through the Lego games.
the Lego.
No,
Before
I wish
The Lego
great
Before
Lego
trilogy.
Before trilogy games where you just like walk
Exploring
around
Vienna.
and like
Wait, no, you have to build the boat that they go on. And
Yes.
yeah.
You have to get the woman up to the bell tower.
Doesn't she like throw a cup in before midnight, like in the hotel room?
Yeah,
Doesn't she
yeah. It's like press X to throw the cup.
Yes, you have to just throw the cup. Yeah. Then you have to go search for her.
Yeah.
Come on.
I think
Just
Jack
all
needs
of
to
you.
watch at least one of those.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a lot of homework. That's 6 movies.
No, one of those singular films. Watch.
Yeah, Raiders.
Okay, I'll watch Joker 2.
No.
No,
Okay.
not favorites.
Oh, God.
Lemonade
Jack,
Mouth.
All right.
Raiders of the Lost Ark. I will watch Lemonade Mouth. You have a deal.
Okay. You haven't
yeah,
seen
I still
Lemonade
can't
Mouth?
believe you made us
I've seen
watch
clips.
that.
But no.
Oh.
I saw Antony, did I tell you what happened when I watched Lemonade Mouth with Jack?
Oh God, what?
We were on FaceTime together and watching it, and I fell asleep about 30 minutes in, and he just sat there and watched the rest of it while I was asleep.
Yeah.
You're like
You can't. Once you start, you can't stop.
Time and like fall asleep to each other, and then they,
It was
they-
so boring. It's so
It
It was
boring.
not.
It just
Every song is a hit.
No, that's definitely not true.
Every song charted. Every
Yeah, in the
single
same
song
way,
on the
every
album
Emilia
charted.
Perez song is a hit. Every Lemonade Mouth
They are.
They are.
Especially the
Yes,
one at the
thank you.
beginning that's like washing machines, groceries, lists, the street.
Yeah.
yeah, it's no High School Musical. That's
High School Musical is
I like
better.
it more than
Bet
that.
on it, bet on it. I remember my friend in like middle school did the talent show and sang Bet on It. And for the first half of the song, he was sitting crisscross on the stage. And then when there's the part in the song where he goes, I'm not gonna stop, like when the beat dropped, he slammed his hand on the stage and stood up. And it's the funniest thing ever. It was the best moment at any talent show, and I have it on video. And I'm gonna play it at his wedding.
Hell yeah.
play it a little bit before. That way, whoever he's getting married to has time to sit with it, decide.
Yeah.
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 Just
Maybe
make sure
rethink
that he wants
decisions.
to get married after seeing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if
Play
not,
the rehearsal.
that's their first dance. That's the true test of love.
Yes.
Yeah. Like we all have those videos. Like there's a recording of me singing "Defying Gravity" when I was 9 years old. We all have. Those.
I'm very fortunate there's no video of me singing Eminem's "Lose Yourself" at school.
Oh, there's a video of me.
Oh.
There's a video of me in 6th grade singing Razzle Dazzle from Chicago, and I was like snapping to the beat, and it's so funny. And this was also the time. This is too personal, but whatever. I remember I put up like on my. This was so fucking stupid of me. I put up this post, like this anonymous messages thing where people could just like say things to me without me knowing who it was. And they're all like, "You're gay." And I remember all these girls in my school were like, "Sam is not gay." And they were like battling to defend with me. And that video of me singing Chicago, I think if that was exposed, I wouldn't have had the evidence to back up my case.
Nope.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the videos of me that exist are just like singing as Joseph, like father of Jesus, like for 3 or 4 consecutive years at a church musical. Because I was the only boy in the church choir, so I was just Joseph
Why
from
were
like
you not
2nd grade to
Jesus?
5th. Because that's a baby. So it was the Christmas one, yeah. So there's just lots of me being Father of Christ. Father of Christ.
Oh god.
That's God. I think my Christianity law isn't what it probably should be, but I'm fairly sure God is the father of Christ.
Yeah, but
yeah.
like he's
Yeah.
the stepfather who stepped up.
Come on, we've
Um,
seen Stern speech and Marriage Story. God wasn't there.
You've
he
seen
was-
Phantom Menace.
Yes, we've
Yeah.
seen that as well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Klieglar's, guys.
Klieglar's. Oh god. That's Attack of the Clones. Klieglar's is not in Phantom Menace.
Okay, what's the first guy? Is it
What's
Owen?
first? Oh well, no.
Watto?
Klieglar's is the father, but he's not in Phantom Menace.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
And then Joel Edgerton is Owen, and then his wife.
Right.
Yeah.
I knew there was
Mm.
that was one of the names. All right. We should wrap up. Well, this has been the first episode of the Participation Trophy, a vaguely awards podcast. I have been
Very
Trevor. We
vaguely
have
awards this week.
Are we-
I
very
don't think we
vaguely
did. I don't think we talked about anything.
We talked a little
Are we
bit.
not
We talked a
giving-
little bit. We talked about the
Are we-
Grammys for a
Are
second.
we not
Oh, yeah.
giving a
Talked about-
participation trophy to? I feel like that should be the thing. Is we give like a participation trophy to somebody in the week of culture. No.
Oh, who is the? This is a good idea, but I haven't thought about it.
Participation trophy of this week.
Ooh. Is
We do-
it Margaret Qualley at the Grammys for just being there and vibing? Is
You
she
mean
our
my
partic-
wife?
Your Sam's lavender marriage.
We could give it to Carla. She
Fucking
participated in online
She
discourse.
participated.
You participated
No,
a lot this week.
We're doing it.
No,
Carlos
she did.
Sofia Gascon is our participation trophy of the week.
The only
and
award
we will
she's
talk
gonna
about this
win
more
this
thoroughly
season.
next time.
What I
I'm
love
not
about
going to the actual one anymore.
Jack in
No.
groups of 3 or more people is that he'll stay silent, and then 20 minutes later he'll say something that will just
Yeah.
end the chat. It was just, oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh god.
Yeah.
Jack
All right.
Vance is
Congratulations, Carlos Sofia Gascon, on winning the only award that you're going to win for the rest of your
I-
life, probably. So thank you everybody for watching the participation trophy. Stay tuned for next week because I think that we all had fun and we'll do this again and continue to do this on a
No,
very
I'm blocking
vague
all of
kill
you.
yourself, Jack, on a fairly vaguely regular basis. So I've been Trevor. That's been Sam, Thomas, Jack, and Anthony. And until next time, we'll see you guys next week. Stay safe and goodbye.